Well, politicians know that once they run for office, their lives are open to public scrutiny. But some Republican members of Congress say House Democrats are taking this to a whole level, recording video of their homes, of their families, and then posting the pictures to the internet. My guests here say it happened to them. Republican Representative Jim Renacci of Ohio and Congressman Reed Ribble of Wisconsin. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for being here. So this, I'm sure you knew when you ran for office they were going to watch you out on the campaign trail. They're going to record everything you said, and it could wind up in an ad. But Congressman Ribble, let me start with you. Did you expect them to be taking video of your home, of your family?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it really crosses a line of just political decorum, as it were. I think it's fair game for people, trackers or the other party or opposition, to tape you when you're in a public event to see what you're saying. I think that's fine. But this type of video doesn't really do anything for them or for the political process. And quite frankly, it really disturbed my wife. She was very concerned about her own personal safety. And so I think it is a problem. Well,
and, we're showing the video, regretfully, because, we're telling the story. But, hopefully this is your home, and you've come on to talk about it. But I want to talk about what specifically they did, because is it just posting the video of the exterior of your house, and what benefit do they claim is gained from that? Well, how are they using that against you?
Well, I'm not exactly certain. I'm certain they're, other than they're probably trying to maintain some type of narrative. Either I live in a very expensive home, which I don't. I live in a relatively modest middle-class home in northeast Wisconsin in a middle-class neighborhood. I've been a successful business person, and they might want to try to label me with the 1%, as it were. But my question is, would you rather I wasn't successful? We are trying to manage a $3.5 trillion budget here in this country. I would think you'd want somebody who's had some financial management in their life doing it.
Congressman Renacci, they did the same to you, posting video of the exterior of your home. Why do you feel this goes too far?
Well, again, Megyn, this is a Republican district. It's two incumbents. It's an incumbent Democrat, Betty Sutton, one of the most liberal politicians in America. And I'm sure when she doesn't have a record to run on after 6 years, they are filming my house, and they filmed some of my businesses. It's amazing that they would stoop this low. But again, I think when they don't have a record to run on, these are the tactics they take.
This is all based on an article that came out in Politico, in part. This is based on, and the Politico reports that Democrats insist these videos are fair game and are unapologetic about these hardball tactics. They cite a guy named Jesse Ferguson, who's the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee spokesman, who said, look, House Republicans have spent this entire Congress trying to hide that you're protecting benefits for millionaires and perks for yourselves instead of protecting the middle class, and we won't let them keep it secret any longer. Congressman Renacci, your thoughts on that?
Well, again, this is a political rhetoric that continues since I've been in Congress the last 17 months. What we really need to do is start talking about jobs and the economy and quit talking about these gamesmanships and this rhetoric.
But they're trying to show you're a rich guy, that you can't relate to regular Americans. Look at your fancy home. The average American doesn't live in that kind of a home, so they're trying to paint you as out of touch.
Well, Megyn, what they should do is go film the home I grew up in. I came from a middle-class, union, Democrat, blue-collar family. It was a 4-room home. I would hope they would show that and show that anywhere in America there's opportunity. And I stress that all the time. And it's great that I think anyone in America can have that opportunity. But as Congressman Ribble said, we're talking about some big numbers. I would hope that they would want people there that have balanced budgets, made payrolls, understand what it is to have to live within the rules that Congress makes, and that's what I do.
Congressman Reed, you worry at all about safety? You say your wife is creeped out by this, but, in an age where we saw, Gabrielle Giffords shot down publicly, the step closer to our lawmakers and, like, outing their homes, their addresses, their families, does it give you any pause as a public figure?
Well, it gives me a little bit of pause. Fortunately, I live in northeastern Wisconsin, which is a very safe area where the neighbors watch out for neighbors. But I can tell you that I don't think this type of strategy works. The idea of using fear and intimidation is not going to be effective. If they should have learned one thing about the Governor Walker recall in the state of Wisconsin, that this type of politics doesn't work. And it was soundly rejected just a few weeks ago, and it'll be rejected again.
Yeah. I mean, you guys don't make a lot of money when you take a job in the U.S. Congress, and you already undergo a lot of public scrutiny. So on both sides of the aisle, it does seem a bridge too far. Guys, thank you both so much for being here.